Hey everybody, it's Carrie, and I was just reading through some notes that I took about maybe a month or two ago from John Gray, who wrote Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus. And he makes this live show every day. I adore John Gray, by the way. And he makes this show every day, and he had this topic about jealousy one day. And he had some really good points, and I wrote down some notes, and I'll read you a little bit of what I have here. I may have written them down in the way that I thought about it, or I may have written down exactly what he said, but I can't remember exactly. Also, another great person to subscribe to, if you're not, on YouTube, is Matthew Hussey. He is brilliant. He's real young, maybe like 25 to 30, and he has like a radio show on iHeartRadio. He targets a female audience mostly, but anyway, if you want to check him out, he's got some fabulous advice. And I don't see myself as giving advice so much as sharing honestly where I'm coming from and some of my thoughts and what has helped me overcome jealousy, sexual jealousy and romantic jealousy. But anyway, some of these notes they're all about jealousy. This first note says, you always have the right to ask for what you want from your partner. John Gray was saying that it's okay to let somebody know, that you're feeling threatened and what you need to say, like, will you let me know that you love me? And what a woman really wants when she feels threatened is for you to put your arm around her and walk back in there and let people know that, she's with you, to claim her and let, the world know that you've chosen her, at least for this time in your life, that she has that spot in your heart. So I agree that there shouldn't be a lot of fear surrounding the honesty. Now, if you're very defensive when you get jealous, I used to be very defensive. I used to be like, I don't really need you anyway, and I can do better, and all this kind of stuff, just because I was so sensitive and hurt whenever I felt threatened. And so I would kind of throw them off of me and be like, I don't need you anyway, or like I would just be like, what? It was really ugly looking back. But if you're really defensive, you can't expect somebody to keep coming at you and trying to hold you and understand you and hug you if you're just going to be mean. So if you look a little deeper, you'll find out it's not that you really feel so angry, it's that you really feel so hurt and vulnerable that you're just being defensive to kind of cover it up. So if you can get in touch with the more sensitive side, people are going to respond better. Another note says that let's see. Jealousy, this is what I found so fascinating. Jealousy is a strong sign that you can have what you so powerfully want. I thought about that a lot, and I realized that John Gray was right. He was saying that any time that we're having a powerful emotion, something is being created. And I had realized this on my own before I personally discovered John Gray. He has been out for years and years, but I just didn't discover him for a long time. But it dawned on me one day that people's willpower, people's will, like their desire, is a creative force. And I thought about even where human life comes from. And it is at the moment of the greatest desire, at the point of orgasm, is when human life is created. And how powerful that is. And that's not an accident that we are creating human life at the moment of the most focused desire. And this is also why people become so jealous of sex over their partner and everything, because it's such a powerful creator. And it's just it's kind of a hot commodity. You don't want to lose that to somebody else, because it's such an honor, to be the one somebody chooses to create with. So anyway, he's right that jealousy is a passionate moment. It's not a pleasant moment, but it's still powerful, and there are conflicting emotions. Part of what the message in jealousy is that somebody else is getting what you feel that you were made for, that you deserve, that you want, and those are all good things. So seeing somebody else get it makes you go, hey, that's for me. That's how John Gray put it. And I like that, because if you weren't also having another conflicting emotion at the same time, which is usually like you start to have doubt that you can get it or that you deserve it, the attention or whatever it is that somebody else is getting from your partner that you wish you were getting. And this actually applies to any jealousy, even when somebody gets a promotion that you wish you had at work and you feel jealous. This all applies. So when you feel that powerful, passionate feeling that was yours, that belongs to you and someone else is getting it, it's a message that you are on the right track to some degree. You're seeing something that you're destined to have. And for me, it's always been exclusive and reciprocal, passionate love. And I know a lot of people have asked me over the course of my life to accept that men are going to be a certain way and they weren't designed for monogamy, and that it's not fair to expect them to only want you for a lifetime. But that doesn't sit right with me, and I'm striking out on my own. As far as I know, I don't know a lot of people. Well, I would rather be alone than settle. I'm not afraid of that because I'm really certain that I can have it. I know that there is a connection for me that is just it's worth waiting for, something bigger than just settling, like, or sharing my partner. And here's the thing, I've said before, you know, I've already covered it about not wanting obligation. I don't want to be somebody's ball and chain. I would want somebody to want me every day, and to continually wake up and think every single day, I'm having fun and I want to be with Carrie again. And I think that everybody can have that. I don't think that's out of reach at all. But there's a lot of things that people tell us are out of reach, like there's no cure for cancer. I don't believe that. I think there's a lot of things people haven't tried, and it's presumptuous to think there's no cure for cancer. That's insane. Have we tried everything? Not by a long shot. You know, and there's so many things that people do and it goes into remission, and they just haven't figured out what was the thing I did that made it go into remission. And just because they haven't put their finger on it doesn't mean it can't be done. A little kid could figure it out. You know, sometimes it's the thinking too hard. Sometimes it's the white lab coat that throws us all off. The pressure of trying to do everything in a methodical, educated way. Sometimes you just got to let your hair down, and this is how relationship is too. Sometimes it's the educated people that are throwing us off, and sometimes you just got to say, hey, we got to bring out the kid in us and go after what we love like a child, and just be creative, throw away all the rules, do what comes natural to us, go after what we want, eat what we hunger for. You know what I mean? Follow your desires until you find out where you're supposed to be. It's your roadmap. Your desires are your roadmap. You're supposed to follow your desires, not go against them all the time. And I know that may sound like a conflicting message, because I've said before, I don't think that we're made for sleeping with a bunch of people, and some people feel compelled to sleep with a bunch of different people. But there are reasons that people... Okay, for example, when a kid is growing up, you know, very rarely have I heard of somebody that just, you know, started out. I've never heard of a kid having like schizophrenia. I've never heard of a kid that had his first girlfriend and he, you know, was sleeping with 3 other girls or something like that. I think that these are things that people come upon. Now, it's possible if somebody was raised in a really nasty environment, they would just, you know, be thinking that way from youth. But for the most part, these are just ways of operating that we develop over time. It's not a natural desire. And so, I guess on some level you could say you can't trust your desires, but here's how I usually know. If me getting my desires met harms other people, I'm thinking it's probably not a natural desire. I happen to feel that way about a lot of things. Like, you know, I don't think that my freedom should have to impose on someone else's freedom or health. And and I'm sure I have a lot of blind spots, like I'm sure everybody does, but anyway, for the most part, I think that it's true that jealousy is a signal that you're close to something you really want and something that's meant for you. Let's see. Okay, when you believe in something as if you know for sure it's going to happen, that is the foundation of success. I had actually a moment like that about a week and a half ago when I first started making these videos. I had this moment. I was in the shower washing my hair, and I suddenly knew that it was time to start talking about what I have been studying for years. And up until about a week and a half ago, this was just a hobby that I researched. I've just been fascinated by love and jealousy and sex and why people do the things they do and how to get the things I want in a romance and in sex and all those things. So it was basically just a hobby until I felt this feeling come over me the other day in the shower that this was what I was meant to do. At this point in my life, I think that I'm meant to speak out loud about what I've been thinking about for the last 20 years. I've been thinking, I've been researching, and I think that all of that was necessary. And in that time, I desired to sit and read. At that time, at another time, I desired to sit and write. And then at a later stage, I desired to ask a lot of questions of other people, you know, about what they wanted. And now I feel compelled to speak. And so I'm following that desire. And each step leads to another. And I think that following your desires in that fashion can lead you to a really great destiny. And so I don't advise going against a lot of your desires. Sometimes even when you're messing up, like let's say you are married and you're desiring another woman, I'm not even saying that willpower is the answer for that. I mean, I don't even know what to say about it. It's hurtful, but at the same time, sometimes it's necessary to really screw up to really find your destiny. And I don't even know that I believe in mistakes. I know a lot of times I've thought I was making mistakes, but I can't think of anything that I, in the end, have really regretted. And I think realizing that mistakes are part of the process has been a huge relief to me. I am a firm believer we're always exactly where we're supposed to be. And I don't think anybody's missing the train, and I don't think that I think you can make a U-turn at any point, and if you go in a direction and you don't like it, you can always turn it around. And you know, and if something's set in stone, what if you make a decision and then that's it? Like maybe you decide to leave your wife for a little bit and then she won't let you come back. You just keep on following your next desire, and you know, the universe will make it the right decision. It will be okay, because it's not really about all the specifics. It's okay, because here's the thing. Even if you're making a mistake, you can be safe in the knowledge that it's your mistake. And nobody else could have made that mistake. I mean, it's your mistake. And so it's okay, because you're still being you. It's kind of like, to thine own self be true. If it's your mistake, own it and say, I got to make this mistake. And, you know, so if you feel so compelled, you know, sometimes that's a necessary stage. Sometimes you have to do that before you can really believe in something anyway. It's better, let's say you spend 20 years with the same man out of obligation. You just think, well, I married him and now I got to stay. But you could doubt it the whole 20 years. But let's just say after 2 years, you were miserable and bored and you left, and who knows what could happen from there. Here's the thing, you can't make a plan. When you're living from your honest desires, you don't really have a plan. But you see how everything pans out, and if life brings you back to him, or if he lets you come back and you have a change of heart, you could spend the next 20 years believing in the relationship, or 18 years or whatever, believing that you were meant to be there after going away and feeling how you feel without them. Sometimes you're going to go away and you're going to feel like, thank God, and this was not the relationship for me, and that's okay too. I know a lot of people say it's bad, but I just don't believe that. I think that I am very glad I got divorced, and you know, I haven't ever regretted it. Partly because I didn't let a bunch of people tell me that it was bad. I mean, people tried, but I was just like, no, I was pretty miserable, and I'm much happier on my own. You know, even though it was financially more difficult, it was a huge relief emotionally, and it was totally worth it, and it was the right thing to do. So anyway, those are just a few thoughts. I just wanted to post something tonight because I have so many things I want to post, and I've been working on the website for a while. I'm so excited about it, and I'll just go ahead and tell you, it's www.findthetrust.com, and it's only halfway built, but it has some of our event times on there, and it has a little bit of a explanation about what I'm doing, and where, you know, you can meet or watch videos and all that kind of stuff. So I'll talk to you soon. I hope y'all have a good night. Thanks.